All right, the March 2nd Middlebury Town Council meeting will be called to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, I so want to fix that. Get my words out.
Sorry, that clock still says 5:59, so,
Oh, I was going by this one.
no, that's fine. It's
Let's go
just,
by these two.
It says 6.
for whatever reason, it's not right. Kent Kaufman.
Here.
Mike Holloway.
Here.
Gary Craig.
Here.
Carl Miller.
Here.
And Kevin Miller.
Here.
All right, we have the minutes for the February 16th meeting.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes of the February 16th, 2026 meeting as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. At this time, we'll open the floor for public comments.
I just want to say thank you to Mary for Saturday, for our Christmas party in February.
I was going to say, did you do something like give us an extra Saturday, or you said thank you for Saturday? I'm like, wow,
You created that?
that's pretty powerful.
Wow.
I would like to also say thank you to Public Works, especially for Bristol Avenue, for the patching and the potholes that have been repaired and everything. So again, thank you so much. It's sometimes certain areas you're kind of dodging them. So again, please pass that along. That you guys done a tremendous job.
Especially for those of us who live on Bristol Avenue.
All right, we'll move on to expense vouchers.
I'll make a motion that we approve for disbursement the expense vouchers as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, unfinished business. Marsh proposal for GIS technology and strategic planning.
So at the last meeting, we had discussed the proposal, and the total proposal is in the amount of $153,960. Looking at different options for funding and what makes sense here, I think a third of it could come from water, a third could come from sewer, and then either a third could come from either CUME-CAP, or cumulative capital development, or rainy day fund. So the ending cash balance in 2025 for the CCD, or the cumulative cap fund, was 1.098 million. And so if we took a third of that, it would be, I think, $51,320. So I think that there's funds available to be able to look at doing this. Is there any questions?
Is that all up front? That's not all up front, is it?
No, we would be getting
Okay.
invoices as
I
we
mean,
progress
okay.
through things.
As we install the different sections of it.
Right.
Okay.
And some of these kind of overlap. That's why I think it's beneficial to do it all as one, because they do overlap, and I just think it's going to be better for us. Plus, it's going to catapult us into the, next 10 years or whatever. But with all the projects that we have going on and everything starting towards the end of this year, beginning of next year, I think it's important that we do it now.
And it was one of the things, too, that they kind of recommended doing it closer together than spread apart as initially proposed, because when you set something up now and then you don't really go back to start using it for a year or two, things are already behind again, and now you're playing catch up again.
You have to
and-
redo
Yep.
what you've already done, yeah.
It's not going to get any cheaper.
No.
So, and it's something that I think it needs to be done just to keep us moving forward.
Yeah, I would make a motion to approve the Marsh proposal for GIS technology and strategic planning as presented.
I'll second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, new business. Police Department purchased 4 new computers.
Yes, on the computers, I meant to buy some last year, on last year's budget. I couldn't get what we needed, I got one computer that we needed. Also with the new computer stuff we got going on, we needed more RAM, and we thought we could just buy extra bike, and we can't find it. And what they do is the price is outrageous. So it was best to just buy the new computers. The 3 desktops are for the office. My desktop is 15, 16 years old probably. The evidence computer's time for a new one, and I think one of the squad bay computers is ready. And then the laptops for all the cars. And then I told Mary we can take our old laptops that are still in decent shape, clear them off, and the other departments can use if needed.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll make a motion that we approve the police department's purchase of new computers, forgive me, in the amount of $15,403.18.
I believe so.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Also, I'm up here, I wanted to get approval for Amanda DeBlock for the reserves. In my email I sent out, she was a former sergeant with the Elkhart Sheriff's Office. She's currently working with the Elkhart City Police. Full-time, she wants to come here as a reserve, so.
I'll make a motion that we approve the hiring of Reserve Officer Amanda DeBlock as requested.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Request for payment, FCI Construction Pay Application Number 7 for water treatment plant improvements.
So FCI's Construction's pay app number 7 is in the amount of $87,190.24 for the water treatment plant improvements. And we're asking for your consideration for approval of this. So that way we can send it down to Indiana Finance Authority.
I'll make a motion, we approve the payment for the pay app number 7. I didn't get the exact price, but as quoted.
87,190.20.
Okay.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, extension to solid waste disposal contract with Borden's.
So in your packet was the contract for extension for solid waste with Borden. Jackson had some modifications, and they said that they would make those modifications. It was removing where it says rates may be subject to a 4% per year rate increase with municipal solid waste index. That's already incorporated in this, so there's no reason to have that clause below. So, and that is what it was for each year that we've had it so far, has been 4% increase. So the rate per unit for residential in 27 is $11.36 per month. 2028 is $11.81, and 2029 is $12.29. So we're asking for your consideration to renew that or extend that contract.
Any issues?
It's an extension of 3 years.
3 years. We were having some issues throughout last year, but since we've gotten our main contact that we had when we started the contract, they've seemed to have gotten better. I can't necessarily speak for recycling services. I've heard a lot of maybe complaints, about that. But as far as our service, anytime that we've here recently made a call, we haven't had any issues. That person that we started with as our contact, I don't know if he went to another company or something, but he's back now. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
I personally haven't had any. I mean, the time changes, whenever they come by or whatever, but
Well, you had one.
They ate my garbage bin.
did they give you another one?
They did.
Well, then there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
I thought
As long as they ate it with the garbage in it.
I thought somebody stole it, but my wife said, "Calm down, Gary. Nobody's stealing garbage cans."
Well, people do though. You'd be
Let's-
surprised.
I was gonna say,
They do
I
go
thought
missing.
I heard
but
Yeah, the only issues I've heard is about the recycling, them
Same.
not picking up. But as far as the garbage pickup, we have not had any issues either.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the 3-year extension for solid waste disposal contract with Borden for the amounts listed for the 3 years.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, permission for Tim Spradlin to attend IGIC conference.
So this is like a GIS conference, and it's held this year from May 12th through the 14th in Bloomington. And we're asking approval for him to be able to attend the conference and then for his hotel rooms. It's estimated to cost, overall cost of $703 plus tax and mileage. He should be able to take a town vehicle, so we should be okay there. And then any meals, there's a set budget. I forget what the
45 a
amount
day.
is. 45.
Per diem, yeah.
I'll make a motion that we approve the permission for Tim Spradlin to attend the IGIC conference, May 12th through the 14th, 2026, in the amount of $703 plus tax, mileage, and meals as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions?
the tax should only be on food, just as a FYI. The hotel should be tax-free and,
Yeah.
yep.
Oh, okay, good. Thank
Yep.
you. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, announcements. Elkhart County Regional Sewer District meeting is March 4th at 5 PM at the Public Services Building. Elkhart County Redevelopment Commission meeting is March 5th at 2 PM at the Public Services Building. Middlebury Tree Board meeting is March 5th at 7 PM here at Town Hall. Elkhart County Plat Committee meeting is March 12th at 9 AM at the Public Services Building. Elkhart County Plan Commission meeting is March 12th at 9:30 AM at the Public Services Building. And the next Town Council meeting will be March 16th at 6 PM at Town Hall. And now we will work on to our work session.
12 minutes. 12-minute meeting.
Write that down.
We're not done yet.
Like they had Beetlejuice too many times.
Yeah.
And you don't even know.
Clear up.
Yeah, I caught that too.
Probably.
Not sticking
Not quite
around.
sure the process that
okay.
I'd have to go
I
through.
mean, once they clear it, I mean,
But-
we,
Okay, I'm not sure. Where was
I
the
don't
list
know
for
if you'd
that?
have to, like, take it to auction.
It's right, it continues on.
Yeah. it's
Yeah.
great.
I missed it.
Right after the IGIC stuff,
Yeah.
it continues on.
There you go. There you go.
maybe I could get it cheaper.
I know we don't.
All righty.
It's all Mary. It's all Mary.
The building for the Middlebury Soccer League.
So, the Middlebury Soccer League has approached us about building a building on the land, the Bontrager Soccer Fields, which is owned by the town of Middlebury. And I've put a map in there of what their, the approximate area. They haven't given me the exact area or anything. I did talk with Wilbur Bontrager, and he did not see any issues, the Bontrager family having any issues as long as it benefits the community. But the thing is when we were discussing this before, because this has been going on, I think, since 2019, 2020, somewhere in there, the town council had said that they would prefer to deed land to the soccer club or, whatever entity. So that way we didn't have to have any responsibility with regards to that, but there, needed to be stipulations with regards to the land needs to come back to the town if they would ever, decide not to do that anymore, just different things like that. But it's going to need to go through a 2-lot subdivision process. I talked with the county, and, that I think should be something that they should have to pay for. Because it's not something that we're asking
Right.
to have done. So I haven't like gotten back with them with regards to any of this. I wasn't quite sure how this council would feel because obviously it's a whole new council. So, or if you had any questions that, I need to bring back to get answers to for you. So, they will need to pay that $8,012 per acre fee for the connection if they do. The water and sewer is there, so they should connect to that.
I kind of have a question from being out there. That area is highly used for parking.
For parking,
Yeah, so
right,
that's usually full.
yeah.
So I'm curious where they plan to move or shift that parking, because I know there's a fence there, so you can't really intrude the other direction.
Either direction, north or south.
Yeah. So, to me, that's a question, if they're gonna retire one of those fields in a way, and maybe
Right.
that fence gets moved or however.
Yeah, that was my question as well, because, yeah, that area is covered with cars on Saturday
Yeah.
mornings.
Their problem. I mean, it's their club, it's their, I
Right.
mean, they have to figure that out.
He did have a site plan, and I questioned the amount of parking for the size of the building, but I think, yeah, they'll work all that, I'm sure they'll work all that out.
Yeah, they're talking more during the summertime versus like
Right,
this would be
right.
more used in the winter. But
And I think Mike's got that.
I mean, it's their club,
Right.
and, I mean, that's.
Yeah, it's their problem.
Their issue to overcome. So as long as they're, paying the survey fees and whatever, then we let them do what they want to do, as long as, they're not breaking any applicable laws to do it,
Yep.
It's their
Right,
club
but
and-
like that, if that becomes their property, and then it's still our property on the other portions, that's their cars on, quote, our land, if that's how it works out,
They
so.
park, it's our land now.
Well, correct.
I mean, so
So-
whether they park on our land there or they park on our land over here, I don't know, to us, it would matter. They're doing the same thing, they're just doing it in a
Right.
different place on the property. So,
So is that square or the rectangle that you had on your picture here, that would include what they considered their parking area too, or is that all building?
no, that would be that would include the parking
Everything.
area. And I made it a little bit extra big because they said they would like to double the building at some point in time. So they are building the building for expansion to have 2 courts. So that's kind of why I made it oblong like that, because they told us how they would expand the building.
yeah,
Was there a problem before with the other consoles when they were bringing up deeding it to them and basically making it their problem? Did something come up?
They didn't have the funds, and they weren't ready to do it. And now it seems like they're a little bit more organized, a little bit more financially ready to take this next step. So that's why they're coming back. And they wanted to have the building built by November, but just the subdivision process will probably be a 3-month process, would be my guess.
Because there'll have to be public hearings.
No, it'll have to go through the plan commission,
yeah.
but
just the regular-
it's a minor
it's just caught in
subdivision.
the- It'll get caught in the backlog.
Yeah.
Did we have, Jackson, I don't know if you'd seen any of the previous ones, did we have like a first right of refusal to repurchase or something? Or is that something that the council was interested in, so we didn't lose that?
I don't know that we have anything in place other than the existing lease.
Yeah, we never made any type of agreement before, but the council was pretty adamant that they wanted to be able to have the land revert back to them at no cost.
Okay,
You know,
which would
and-
now include a building.
Right, and they even went as far to say, if we don't want the building, you're required to financially take that building down. So there's a bunch of different things that we need to think through.
That would probably come up as part of the transfer whenever that occurs, if that occurs.
We could always do a reserve remainder if.
Yeah, we could reserve it in the deed or
Right, right.
have
Make it-
something
make it-
separate written.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, like, what I heard from the last
Right.
council.
Right.
I'm not saying that's what has to be done.
It's been amazing. I mean, when they talked about the amount of growth that they've seen over the last, what was it, 4 or 5 years, it was absolutely amazing. And I guess now they're part of a association out of Indianapolis.
Right.
And so their growth has just exploded in the last 3, 4, 5 years or so. So
And I'm sure that he would be willing to come here and talk with you too,
That might be
if
good.
we needed to. So,
Might be the best way to see what their thoughts are as far as,
he has a
Doing
rough
something like
sketch
that.
of, what he's proposing, so,
I mean, do they understand what the previous councils have said? I mean, I'm sure you've shared that with them.
yep, and he was actually there
Okay.
during that, so.
Harry, at one point, weren't they talking about a septic system?
Yeah, but that was prior to the sanitary sewer being there,
Right, now it's not really an option, correct?
correct?
Okay. Are they aware of that?
Yes.
Okay.
When we met with them, we told them sewer and water was there, and we also told them about the fees.
Or connection.
Well, it's like a reimbursement for Jayco's loan.
And that'd be in town?
Yeah, that property's in town. Yep.
So what will we do now? Just go back to them and see if they're interested in that situation, or?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I was,
Okay.
discussing this kind of on the, of what you guys desired.
Already working for that, so. And I think there's a lot of benefits from that, too.
So the next item that we have is State Road 13 bridge replacement over the tributary to the Little Elkhart River, which is near the Hoover Farm. So if you look at, this is a draft of the map for construction, 26 through 2030. This is the map that we'll make some modifications, but it'll go out in the May, with the May utility building. And so you can kind of see where that bridge replacement's going to be. And we just had a meeting with NDOT on February 18th to discuss it. They anticipate construction to be in 2028, which gave me a little bit of angst with US 20 being under construction at the same time. What they want to do is they want to take it down to one lane and have temporary traffic signals, or, those portables on each side. So that way they can construct half and then construct the other half. They will be widening it. So what that means is that we'll get it, we have water main on the west side of State Road 13, and we have a force main from the Antler Lift Station on the east side of State Road 13. Both of those utilities will be impacted. What the main issue is with the water main is the fact that that is a 10-inch plastic water main. And those are just not good. It's not HDPE, it's the plastic. The guys, we've had serious concerns about even doing any type of work on it. So that plastic water main goes from right there just north of the bridge all the way down to US 20. So I'm not sure, what we're looking at, but if we would replace that, it'd be about 0.7 miles of water main, and that's approximately $800,000. I just did some quick estimating. With regards to the Antler Lift Station force main, being along the east side of State Road 13, it'll need to be relocated. So, like, one thing leads to another, and I don't know if even the Hoover lift station will be impacted. It could potentially be impacted. So that kind of leads me into, and let me see if it's back here further. It leads me into this lift station elimination. If you scroll to that map, we did a study because with Spring Valley lift station being impacted by the US 20 project, we're rebuilding the gravity sanitary sewer from the Spring Valley lift station and taking it to Northridge lift station. Northridge lift station will be deeper and bigger. And then its force main will connect, for right now, I'm going to connect into the old force main where Spring Valley would discharge to or continue going down US 20 to Orpha Drive to Antler. And then Antler, where that blue X is, Antler lift station then pumps all the way to the wastewater treatment plant. We have serious issues with hydrogen sulfide eating away our lift stations. It just eats the concrete. It eats anything and everything. And that's why I've got both Cole and Steve here tonight, because they're the ones having to deal with a lot of this. The lift station elimination project, if we would take the next step with it, would take Northridge would discharge to a gravity main that would need to be replaced through Essenhouse's property. There's currently one there. It's not large enough to take it currently. And then we would need to replace the Hoover lift station. Hoover is just like Hardwoods. We're not even sure what year it was put in. It was probably put in the 70s. Usually a lift station will last you about 30 years or so. So if it was in the 1970s, we're pushing our limits here. And then Hoover would then be partial force main, and then it would flow gravity to the wastewater treatment plant. So with that, we would eliminate Spring Valley lift station, Antler lift station, and we could also eliminate Greencroft lift station, because the line then that goes across to Essenhouse property, it would be a size large enough to be able to take that flow. And there's so many papers here, sorry. Projects are like estimated to cost because there's so many variables here that we're not 100% sure. There was a 40% contingency, but the project overall cost, if we would take the next step, would be somewhere between 6.5 million and 10.8 million. But if you look at the next sheet that's in your pile of papers, it's talking about the 30-year life savings, or 30-year savings if the lift stations were eliminated. And in just 2026 dollars, it would be $13 million if we were able to eliminate those. Because just on an average year, the yearly cost for each lift station is about $28,000. And that depends upon how good of condition it's in. Let me go through my notes here to see.
I like the idea of not having them because that's less things to break down.
Less maintenance.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And if we did take the next step, our force mains would be a lot shorter. Therefore, the hydrogen sulfide is a lot. Yeah. And they can talk to you a little bit more about the Hoover lift station if they want. Yeah, they're back here.
I was gonna say, you said if they want.
Yeah, if they want.
Don't give them
They-
a choice, make them talk.
Deer headlight look.
Yeah, I mean, Cole will tell you.
Microphone right here.
That's fine.
Yeah, Hoover's just in rough shape. I mean, it should have been replaced years ago, back when Steve started.
Wow, that long ago?
That's when it was built.
Did they even have lift stations in this?
60 years ago? Gee.
Yeah, it's just in rough shape. It's a can style lift station, just like Hardwoods is. Honestly, it's probably in worse condition than Hardwoods. The floor is really rotten. I mean, it's darn near dirt. And it's definitely one of the most intimidating lift stations to work on here, just because it's so old. A lot of the parts aren't made anymore. You're just, I mean, it's one that 90% of the time I'm down in the hole because everything I want to make sure is right. Plus, it's just a dangerous station. Because, I mean, you know, we have check valves that don't quite seal all the time. It's sketchy, for lack of a better word.
And plus, like with the hydrogen sulfide, going back to that, there are several, a couple of places on the Pumpkin Vine Nature Trail that we always get phone calls saying it really stinks here. And I think the people that live like along Orpha there, I think they're probably used to the smell by now. So we really don't get calls from them anymore, but it can be pretty bad there too.
So would the idea be to, since we know we've got to do the, we anticipate and the Antler lift station being impacted by the work at the bridge there anyway, and that water main on one side or whatever. And so, again, finding the funds to do the elimination, if it's 6.5 or it's 10.8, whatever it turns out, what's the process for funding that?
So I have a meeting with INDOT on Friday because I need to find out, does it really impact Hoover? Because if it does, then there's that 10% of your operating budget, that we would be responsible for. I don't know how many of these projects we can do like that, but, so there's that. And then they would pay, that would be our responsibility, and then they would be paying for the other portion. And then the only other thing that I know, besides possibly looking at some from redevelopment, but it's not going to be enough, would be to go after SRF funding. And
And that would be backed by wastewater income?
yes, and so we would need to look at rates.
Okay.
So, and I don't expect any answers tonight, but there's just a lot of stuff going on with all these projects that I needed to share.
Cole, maybe we just say we appreciate you
No.
keeping it going or keeping it maintained as best as you possibly can. It sounds like it's kind of a patched kind of situation. Thank you for looking after that and maintaining it.
The cost savings though, as far as maintenance stuff, you said it's 13 over time?
Over 30.
Over time, so
30
you
years.
should really replace a lift station about every 30 years. Right in there, 30, 35 maybe. Yeah,
one's
so
50 or
if you
So
20.
not right away, but I mean,
It's 50. We're at 50.
right, and that's in $26, so, I mean, it could be even
Right.
more than that. And I tried using costs that were comparable to like the Powell lift station, because that was like 1.6 or something, and then Hardwoods was like 2.1 million. It all kind of depends upon your, like the force main and the
Right.
length of that and different things.
If you get looking at the map, Hoover, it receives more flow than it should already. I mean, our trends are just up and down all day with it. And
The
if you look
pumps.
at the map, it's almost like they've been avoiding Hoover for so long. Like, there's a main that goes right behind Greencroft. That really should have never been a lift station. It should have just dumped right in and headed to Hoover. Couldn't handle the flow. And then same with like SB1 and all that. It's almost like they pump it backwards, and on all the way around the town just to avoid Hoover.
And that's why I tried to show you on that map
Right.
with the force main. It just doesn't make sense to pump it south than to pump it back
Only to,
north.
only to turn around and send it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was a funding thing at that point too.
Always ends up being that.
Yep.
Sounds like the can got kicked down the road, just not properly taken care of in due time.
Yep. So anyway, I will. Do you have anything else with that? Okay. So then, at that same meeting that I had with NDOT at State Road 13, bridge replacement, NDOT shared their plans with me that they plan to bid the US 20 project in November or December of '27, but they're also going to lump the State Road 13 project with it in the same bid. And the reason being is that way they have some more control over, because it's one contractor, and so they can like tell the contractor, yes, you can do that, or no, you can't, you know, if they're trying to do two operations at the same time.
They can coordinate better.
And I'm sure it has to do also with funding, maybe a fiscal year type thing. I'm not privy to all of that, so I'm not 100% sure, but it does make some sense. So,
So if that all happens at one time, are we just using our helicopter cars to get
yeah,
around?
yeah. No, they will not allow both of them to be completely shut down and not at the same time.
That's what the pumpkin vine's for.
E-bikes.
Just watch your speed. You'll be all right on your e-bike.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next item is we're going to need to have some further environmental investigation at 109 Grand Street. So redevelopment approved a proposal with Heron Environmental for further investigation. We did hear back from the developer today, and the site is just too small with what's available to be able to be developed. So they have pulled their proposal. So that's kind of where we're at with that. River Bend Townhomes, that is on the Plan Commission for February 16th, and it is the.
Wait,
March
I'm sorry,
16th?
February?
I'm sorry, March
March
16th.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hang on, just a second, Mary. I had a question on the
March
Grand Street.
12th. Yeah, go back.
What are the continuing studies going to do, or what are we hoping to get from those?
Monitoring wells.
So there's
I think that-
there's an issue with the property, and because of some fill that was brought in at some point in the past. And so we need to test to the east of that to make sure we don't have infiltration of the issue beyond the property.
Do they think it might be moving?
Well, no, they think it might have moved at some point. The plus is that none of those properties have wells.
It's more precautionary. 'Cause
Right.
They've done stuff at Jerry Standards and have not had any
Had any of it,
significant.
right.
So, and that's obviously to the east also. So this is more, preventative or just to confirm that there's.
That we don't have an issue
Right.
beyond the property.
Right.
And why this particular studies would still be useful to the town is there to help delineate where it's all contained. And so once you know where it is, you can cap it or do whatever remediation you need to do in that
In that
specific
spot,
area.
right. It sort of narrows
So
down where
we're
the
doing
issue
more
is.
pinpointing of
Yep.
the exact
Correct,
location.
correct.
Like your yellow spots here, I noticed those two kind of dead center are the ones that are,
Yep.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
I think they're doing 10 wells monitoring I believe that was.
I don't remember how many.
8 or
yeah.
10, yeah. Enough that he thought it would give us whatever the groundwater would have done over time. And the groundwater appears to be deep enough that it's likely not an issue, but it made sense to ensure ourselves that it's not an issue, particularly for the cost of it, which compared,
I don't think he was going super deep with them either, because, I mean, the groundwater is down 100
Pretty
to
hard.
130 feet.
yeah,
I think, did I see 20, 25 feet or whatever? Something like that.
at one point, but it goes deeper as it goes east, much deeper.
I mean, the wells.
Yeah, 20 feet, 25 feet.
And
something
you
like
are correct. I mean, there were just major, two that were kind of
These two.
higher, yeah, that were a little higher than this. We just wanted to do diligence and verify.
that. So that if we do it up on another kind of development, we know what all the conditions are, and then can present that in a way that makes sense with the conditions that exist.
All right. Any idea on the length of time on that?
What did
That
you
was
say?
in June, I
8?
think,
June, I was thinking,
Yeah,
when the results will be in
know
and
when.
processed and back, a report to us in June sometime.
4 months, 3 months.
Maybe, hopefully the next report will come back in a way I can read it without crossing my eyes a lot.
It won't.
No, it'll be the same, yeah.
it was amazing listening to him talk.
Knows his stuff.
Yeah. Okay, let's start over with Riverbend Townhomes.
Sorry
So,
about
No, you're
the
good.
revised plan was, given to you in your council packet, at February 16th, just so you could see the layout. It's been reduced from, it originally was 152 units, it's been reduced down to 112 units. And this will be at the Elkhart County Plan Commission on March 12th. Yep, just had to read my
Right.
own writing.
And since there's nothing on our part there, it won't come back to us, is that correct?
Correct.
I see they added the second entrance
They did
again.
put the second
That's
entrance
good.
in.
That might be modified a little bit too. I think, or did they take out the passing blister? I was a little bit concerned about having a passing blister right there so close to County Road 116. But I'll work with Elkhart County engineers.
Oh, on the south side, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
It looks like it's still there.
yeah, so.
Yeah,
we
it's
have-
still
We've
there.
discussed it and they saw what the concern was. So I'm sure we'll figure that out.
yeah.
Okay. Next, Middlebury Police Department, Town Hall. So, Ancon prepared site analysis for 3 sites for, the Middlebury Police Department, Town Hall, along with conceptual budgets. So, anyway, they also reached out to me, today after, getting with JPR. And they think that they can stabilize this for a few years, this wall back here. So that way, and it would cost somewhere between $75,000 and $100,000, which is much better than a new building at $7.5 million. So we also are working with someone, Shaylee's got a call into him about the roof because it was leaking too, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah. So anyway, they're supposed to come out. Hopefully they'll come out this week and,
Yeah, when I contacted him, he said he wanted to wait until all the snow had melted, obviously, so if he needed to do any patching, he'd be able to do it while he was here. He had been out, maybe 2 years prior, and had done some patching then, and he was surprised by how much patching he had to do then, but he also said, well, the material that we had at the time, it's kind of what it was. It's a little, it's obviously advanced since then, but it's still under warranty until next year. So,
Oh, it is?
yep.
Okay.
That was I want to say a 20-year,
That's actually good news.
so next year, after that, it'll be on us if we have to have him come out or have any repairs done, so.
Yeah, it looked like the stabilization thing wasn't so far out of line.
And the hard part with that, though, is it is
They
just a
happen no matter
temporary
what we do.
fix.
Was that,
As
sorry?
the stabilization is just a little scary because it is only a temporary fix. So
Well,
it
like I was
gives
saying,
it might
that,
give us time to figure out funding for other things, whether that's then a complete repair of the wall or a new building and how all that might work, but it also still doesn't solve the issue with the basement flooding, and things
Well,
of
there's
that,
no
so.
doubt it needs to be replaced eventually, but if we can get a few more years while we're working it out, $100,000 isn't, compared to a $9 million budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And gives us
Yeah.
time to plan
Right.
for what the
Right,
next
start
phase
planning
is.
now.
And not
Right.
be at a huge rush.
Right.
So, next item is Orpha Drive Sanitary Sewer Extension. So we plan to, there's a map in your packet there. We plan to bid, this section, basically what's shown on the map is Phase 1 and Phase 2, in May of this year. And then construction between the Antler Lift Station and US 20 would begin this summer and be complete by, hopefully by winter time. And then in the spring, prior to school being let out, they would work on section, or Phase 2. And then once school is let out, there would be a complete closure of the intersection of County Road 37 and County Road 22. So that way they could bust that out, get it done, and have it open back up by the time school started.
How does this work in with the earlier plan for the lift station removal and
elimination?
stuff?
So basically, this is flowing gravity to the Antler lift station. And Antler then would, like the manhole that would be out there, it would eventually flow straight north and then connect into wherever we have Hoover. So, yeah, going down that hill.
That would be gravity from there forward, or?
Yep. That's the plan, is to have Antler.
So if we do that, all of that elimination, then this won't be for nothing.
Correct. So, and just so you understand some of the benefits of this project. So Monteith and Napa currently have a small little lift station that pumps all the way to Antler. So that way it'll remove their maintenance costs that they have. They'll be able to connect onto this gravity-wise. It also allows Middlebury Service Center to connect because the US 20 reconstruction project with our water main, we would be going right through their septic system. So they need to get connected. It also allows for the force main coming from Spring Valley Lift Station, like currently. It'll discharge into a manhole there at US 20 and Orpha Drive until we get, the next step of the lift station elimination project moving forward. And so that reduces the force main by about 1,000 feet, which is anything we can reduce is beneficial. And then it also allows the residents on the north side of Orpha Drive to connect to sanitary sewer because they have no access to sanitary sewer. They have septic systems if they fail and they're in town. Be beneficial for them to be able to connect. Phase 2 also allows Tire Star to connect. They would like to expand their business, but they can't because of their septic system is in the way. And then basically Phase 3, it allows for future connections outside of the town. Joe Marr has asked us in the past about connecting, and they keep expanding pretty significantly. So we would be able to accept their sanitary sewer. And then Phase 3 also has the safety improvements for the Pumpkin Vine Nature Trail and the intersection there because of the closure of County Road 37 at US 20. So,
You did all of this stuff here? You did all this
All the
drawing?
coordination.
the coordination of
You
this,
sleep at night?
No?
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
We don't
It-
pay her, we don't
it-
pay her to sleep.
It's okay, yeah, it's a coordination. There's so many, it's not just me. There's so many people that are helping to coordinate all of this. Yeah, there's no way I could even think about doing all this on my own. And I will tell you, I am so thankful for Jessie. She's doing an amazing job. So the last item that I have is communication of these projects. We do try to get it out into, obviously, the Middlebury Matters, which is that quarterly newsletter, that in Middlebury Magazine, which they're saying that they're going to have one come out in March, but we missed January and February. So I'm not sure how, if that's going to be for sure going every month. We do post on Facebook. We can put more detailed information on the town's website. But I don't know, like some of these are hard to describe in words versus like having somebody do videos. Or I don't know if we need to have like coffee chats at the hilltop. Or I don't know what we need to do, but I'm open to any and all ideas.
I think we should do videos of town manager Mary Kripe around, explaining different things at the different sites
On-site interviews.
and put it on
Yeah,
Facebook.
in as much detail as possible.
And I know a lot of people will want to know what this is all about, why we would do all of this.
And some
And
of,
it's so hard to communicate all of it at one time.
Especially when rates get involved and we're having to look at rate increases and then trying to explain why rates increase, and
Let's hope we don't have to do that.
it's
again.
never fun.
Where do
No,
you
it's not.
feel, or where do you think you get the best communication? Is it social media? Is it the website? I'll be honest with you, sometimes when I see the town post something, it's great information. I've just learned not to read the comments because, forgive me, haters will hate.
Yeah.
So it's like, I hope the town's not getting discouraged by comments and.
no, like, there's probably some of them back here that would say it's really hard not to post, but I've asked, like all employees, try not to post, because some of the comments are pretty hurtful.
Yeah.
But, you have to just let it roll because that's that person's opinion. I know that there's other communities that have shut off the comments. And to me, I learn a lot from those comments because maybe there's something that I need to be addressing or we need to be addressing that comes through a comment, even though, maybe they're saying it in a hurtful way, but like you can learn from some of that stuff.
Right.
And so I really don't want to like shut
Yeah,
those
I
comments
wouldn't
off.
want to do that.
I would not be in favor of that, yeah. People need the avenue to express their opinion,
Right,
no matter how wrong they are.
right.
But it does bring a question then to say, well, this is where you're misguided.
And we do.
Because I had an opportunity where somebody had posted something and then I happened to bump into them. And I said, let me tell you where you got it wrong. And after a 3, 4, 5-minute conversation, I mean, it just didn't have the right information. So
Right.
I would never be in favor of that.
And
we need to let people express.
sometimes I will if I have their email address, or if I know what their phone number is, I'll call them up and have a discussion, like, because I want to hear like more sometimes. Sometimes it's just that, but,
We all pay a lot of taxes and people just want to know where it's going.
right.
Correct.
Absolutely.
I was just curious if you get more feedback from one social
Versus the
media
other.
versus the website versus the magazine versus, I was just curious that,
I
I
think
would say if the work can be duplicated, so if the work can be, whatever we're gonna put in Middlebury, we can put on the website and we can put on the Facebook page, then just do them all. But
Right.
as long as we don't have to create something for each one. So if there's a way to then duplicate the effort, right, create it, and
Right.
then post it in all those places, I would do that. So as many places
yeah.
as you can. I don't have Facebook, so I'm never gonna see it there. And I know others that don't. So the more opportunities we have, as long as we're not having to create work.
Well, that's
Well,
what,
and I hear-
that's what I'm asking is,
I hear positives, about the newsletter. Because a lot of people, not a lot, but some people hang it on their refrigerator because it's got the dates. So I do hear positives about that, all ages. But, with our population, a lot of them tend to like to have something to hold in their hands. And that's why I want to definitely keep continuing with the newsletter.
And I think we get a lot more feedback probably from Facebook because it's easy for people, And it's also, their own way of, they know they're not going to get, targeted back. They're not going to have those hard questions asked back to them. But it doesn't always allow for a great open discussion either, right? Like we're saying, and, it's just like the notes that I get on water bills. Well, I've sent you a letter saying to call us, and I've tried calling you, and you're not answering. And so we can't have a discussion of your utility bill with your questions that I can easily answer, but I don't have an avenue to get to you.
Right.
And I think that's usually the hardest part is we always feel like we're never communicating enough, even though we know that we've said it thousands of times, or what feels like thousands of times. I mean, you can look out here, how many people are here every week, or every council meeting, slim to none. And so they're not hearing all of this information, but how do we get it to them without word vomiting and getting it in a way that they're actually going to read it? That's the other key point too,
I'll keep making maps.
Well, yeah, Mary's maps always go viral on
Yeah,
Facebook,
those are,
but
I think those are very helpful.
oh, yeah.
They are, but the joke is my handwritten maps versus her pretty maps. Mine usually get more
more
views.
likes and shares and views, for whatever reason.
Anyway,
I guess it all comes down to time. I mean, again, we don't want it to take
I-
up a tremendous amount of time. If you feel you're just doing redundancy, obviously, again, the more information that can get out there, but again, is it taking up more time and more resources?
it does.
It's a lot of time. It is, to put the newsletter together, it's a lot of Mary's time because she's writing most of those articles in the Middlebury Matters and for the in Middlebury. Facebook is usually a joint effort, just kind of depending on what's going on and what information needs to get put out there. Monitoring that, of course, throughout the day and sometimes night. But, I mean, that doesn't mean that we should stop it though either, because it's working and we know it's working. But I think
Yeah, it's
as
definitely
major
working.
as some of these projects are, I think we have to do something. And like she's saying, whether it's an hour or two of her sitting somewhere in a coffee shop and allowing people to, just being available in a different avenue and a different time or something. Because we know people work. They don't always have time to call us. We're open during business hours, just like they're at work. So again, we feel like we've said it and we've heard it because we have, but that doesn't mean everybody else has. And I think that's the piece that we're trying to figure out how to bridge.
Yeah, and you're never going to reach 100%.
Correct.
Period.
Correct.
The more we can, but I mean, personally, I feel like the communication, especially through Facebook, has went from here to here
Oh, yeah, yeah.
over the last couple of years. So, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. I think a very good job
Thank you.
of communicating. Like I said, we're not going to hit 100% of the people ever.
I just,
The other thing is promote going on YouTube and watching these. Not everybody's on computers, but
Right.
if we could promote viewing of these meetings so people are more informed as far as what we're talking about.
Right, and I mean, we've got the YouTube link really easily right on our website on the front page. We've got it on the newsletter, the URL to find it. So we put it on Facebook, we've said it's there. I mean, without saying, hey, we're doing this every other Monday.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to make it a weird habit of trying to say, hey, come watch our live stream. But
Yeah, just if you hear people saying something and if we can try to solve, like if there's a different avenue to be going down, that's all.
Well, it's kind of on us too, as a council, we need to be promoting it as much as anybody. We're talking to people on the street or anybody, hey, have you watched the meetings? Hey, are you seeing it on Facebook? We can do that as much as they can too, so it's kind of on us as well.
So that's all I have.
All right?
The end of it. Righty,
Thank you.
and we are adjourned.
Thank you.
I'm watching.